Last session, almost we covered about the basics of OOPS concept. Just started. We're getting now slowly how to write a class, how to create object, how to write a class, how to create object. Next, what is constructor, what is a self variable. Like these are things we covered very clearly, right? Okay. So now the next cinema, what we have to discuss. The next one, what we have to discuss, types of variables. Types of variables. We have to perform postmortem on these types of variables, right? So within Python class, inside Python class, how many types of variables are allowed? Anyone, can you please confirm? Inside a Python class, how many types of variables are allowed? 3 types of variables are allowed. Are you getting? The first one, instance variables. The first one, instance variables. Second one, static variables. Static variables. Okay. Third one, local variables. Remember this one. Local variables. Almost around 2 sessions. We have to perform postmortem about these 3 types of variables, right? Okay, just observe: instance variable, static variable, and the class level variables. Remember that. So the first one, just aware, instance variables also known as object level variables. Regarding instance variables also known as object level variables. Of course, what it means I will discuss. Anyway, object related. Static variables are class level variables. What is the meaning of all these words will come in the picture. Just aware. Oh, instance variable means object related variables. Static variables means class related variable. Local variables means method level variables. Right? Okay. Level variables, right? Okay. So now all these things we require to talk, just aware the words. So in Python class, how many types of variables are allowed? 3 types. What are the first category? Instance variables are object level variable, static variables are class level variables, local variables are method level variables. For that purpose we can use, right? So now the next thing what we have to discuss, let me perform postmortem about this. Yes. So Sharon, we will discuss slowly. So now what is instance variables, right? So best example, I'm taking a class student. Just observe a bit carefully about this one. I'm taking a class student class I'm taking, sir. So for class student, do you know, for every student there are some properties are there. Can you please spell out which properties? Name, roll number, marks. Like these things are by default considered as variables. I mean, yeah, for every student, sir, name will be there, roll number will be there, and then marks will be there. Like, sir, now the point is, okay, just a name and roll number. Let me take here. If you observe, sir, I want to create 1000 objects or some 100 or 200 objects. I am going to create, sir. Assume that, sir, this is my first object, this is my first object, this is the second object, this is the third object I'm taking. Next, like that I'm creating some 600 objects. Assume that. Now here, this is the first object, S1 is the reference variable, second object S2 is the reference variable, and S3 is the reference variable. Assume that this is the 600th object, this is the 600th, S600 is the reference variable, right? So now for every student, compulsory name will be there and then roll number will be there. Assume that. For every student, name will be there, roll number is there, sir. Here also name is there and then roll number is there. Here name is there, roll number is there, sir. Now for the first student name, assume, sir, for the first student name something like Durga. I'm taking something like Durga. roll number 101. Assume Durga, roll number 101. Second student name, some Ravi, roll number 102. Next, third student name, some Shiva, roll number 103. Sir, like last student name, some Pavan, roll number some 700, something like this, right? If you observe within the class, in the same class, the name is varied from student to student. The name and roll numbers are varied from object to object. Here, name and roll number is the different. 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 If the value of a variable varied from object to object, something like name of the student varied from student to student, roll number is varied from student to student. If the value of a variable is varied from object to object, such type of variables are called instance variables. Remember this one, such type of variables are called instance variables. Observe this point very carefully, sir. If the value of a variable if the value of a variable varied from object to object, if the value of a variable is varied from object to object, then such type of variables are called instance variables. Regarding such type of variables are called instance variable are object level variables. Remember this one, instance variables are object level variables, right? Okay, well, so let me repeat again, this point is very important. Please inject in your mind. If the value of a variable is varied from object to object, such type of variables are called instance variables, right? Remember, so this is what is the meaning of instance variable. Next, where we have to declare instance variables. Sir, I want to declare my instance variable for the student. Where I have to declare? Where I require to declare, sir? Sir, usually we can declare instance variables. Usually we can declare instance variable inside the constructor. Yesterday we covered, right? Usually we can declare instance variables inside the constructor, inside constructor. Okay, like so. Next, when instance variables will be created, at the time of object creation, instance variables will be created. Next, once object destroyed by garbage collector, once object destroyed by garbage collector, automatically instance variables will be destroyed. Remember this one, sir. Once object eligible for garbage collection or once object destroyed by garbage collector, automatically instance variables will be destroyed. Just theoretical points, just observe the scope. Charan, what is the scope of instance variable? As long as object is there, the corresponding instance variables are there, sir. Okay, as long as object is there, the corresponding instance variables are there. If the object destroyed by garbage collector, then automatically the corresponding instance variables also by default will be gone. Remember, right? So now up to this is the clear for all of you, right? So very simple. If the value of a variable varied from object to object, then such type of variables are called instance variables, right? So such type of variables are called instance variables, right? Okay, remember this one. Such type of variables are called instance variables, right? Next, for every object, a separate copy of instance variables will be created. Remember this one. For every object, a separate copy of instance variable, will be created, right? Instance variables will be created. Okay, sir, observe. So where we have to declare instance variable? When instance variables are eligible for garbage collection, I mean once object gone, automatically the corresponding instance variables will be gone, sir. The variables which are part of object, these variables are called instance variables. Any doubt? Can you please confirm? All the people are in a position to understand just the general basic terminology, friends. Yes, clear, right? Okay, next in init function. Yeah, Naveen, just observe that as of now. So where we can declare instance variable, where we can declare instance variables inside the constructor as of now. But small things will be there. Slowly we will change. Some more extra facilities may be there. Don't worry, just observe that. So now here have a look once. Just the basic idea. Class student I'm taking def underscore init, okay, like self comma name comma roll number, name comma roll number, like this I'm taking, sir. Do you know self dot name is equal to name, next self dot roll number is equal to roll number, like this I'm taking, sir. That's all. Now can you please tell which are instance variable, sir? Which are instance variables, right? These are instance variables. Regarding these things are instance variables, right? Okay, so whenever we are sir just providing the values, then initialization by default will be there. This self dot name, self dot roll number itself is the instance variables, right? Now s is equal to, or s1 is equal to student of, s1 is equal to student of, okay, Durga I'm taking 101, like this I'm taking, sir. Durga 101, like I'm taking. Can you please tell this Durga and 101 will be assigned to the S1 object or not? Can you please confirm? Yes, is it going to be assigned to Durga, I mean S1 object or not? Yes. Observe very carefully, sir. Observe very carefully. Here S1 object got created. S1 object got created. Now, so automatically whenever you are creating an object, constructor will be executed. Now which arguments you are passing, Durga will be assigned to first and 101 will be assigned to roll number. Now self dot name means this is the name is equal to name is equal to whatever value you are passing itself is Durga. Like next roll number is equal to whatever the value we are passing itself is 101, like this, right? That's all. Suppose if I create one more student object, yes, one more object will be created, one more copy of name and roll number by default will be created. That's all. So the variable which are available, which are stored as a part of object, so these variables are called instance variable. The value of instance variables are varied from object to object. Remember this. So everyone in the position to understand this normal terminology. Can you please hear? There are small loopholes are there. These things we will discuss in detail. Don't worry about that. Okay, are you able to identify it? Can you please tell instance variables are available at which line? Instance variable declaration performed at which line? Line number 3 and 4. Line number 3 and 4 declaration left side or right side? Left side or right side? Here just this is the first instance variable, this is the second instance variable. For these values we are going to assign. Sir, here do you know these variables are standard or these variables are standard, horizontal or vertical? Can you please tell? These variables are standard or these variables are standard? Okay, sir, these variables are standard. The variables which are declared by using self, these variables are standard, sir. This vertical, these variables are standard, but not these. Here any name you can use. Just for readability purpose I'm using name and roll number, but instead of name and roll number you can use X and Y also acceptable. Remember, right? Okay, that's all. Sir, this is just for basic idea purpose. Sir, whatever we covered in the yesterday, just mapping with respect to instance variables, right? Now I told one small point, sir. When the instance variables got created, have you remembered? Just now I told, whenever you are creating an object, the part of that object, name created, row number created, and the values are assigned. So instance variables will be created at the time of object creation. That's it. Okay. Now already one student asked the doubt, sir, where we have to declare instance variables? Can you please tell what the answer you can take? Where we can declare instance variable? What answer we can you can tell? Where we can declare instance variables? Can you please confirm? Yeah, good. Where we can declare instance variables? Remember, in general, out of 100, 99% of the times we are always going to declare instance variables inside constructor. Remember this one. Where we can declare instance variables, right? Inside constructor. Okay, 99% of the times inside the constructor we can declare instance variables. Okay, well, there is another place is there. Okay, where to declare instance variables, right? Inside constructor, anyway, by using self. Regarding by using self variable, we can declare. Next, inside instance method. Inside instance method. Inside instance method by using self variables. Inside instance method by using self variable. Okay, like this, right? By using self variable. Third one's outside of the class, by using object reference. Outside of the class by using object reference, because outside of the class we can't use self. That's why outside of the class by using object reference we can declare instance variables, right? So total to declare instance variable, how many places are there, sir? Either inside constructor or inside instance method or inside or outside of a class by using object reference variables, right? Okay, that's all. So now my question is inside constructor by using self. Okay, inside constructor by using self. So very simple. The variables which are declared inside a constructor by using self, by default these are instance variables. Where is the proof for that? Just have a look once, sir. Here I took either class student and so on. Don't worry about this one, sir. Can you please here I'm taking marks also. Marks also. Okay, self dot marks is equal to self dot marks is equal to marks, sir. Self dot marks is equal to marks. Can you please tell here marks I'm passing some 90. Total how many instance variables are there for this? Anyone can you please tell how many instance variables are there for S1? 3 instance variables are there. Remember this one. So name, roll number and a marks. Name, roll number and a marks. Okay, like that. Sir, can you please confirm what is the value of name? Durga. What the value of roll number? 101. What the value of marks is the 90. Now print. Observe very carefully, sir. Sir, you know, if you know object reference, I want to know all instance variable names and values. All instance variable name and values related to that object, we require to call underscore dict underscore. Remember this one. OBJ dot dict underscore dict. What is the meaning of this one here? So dict means what? Can you please tell? Dict means what? Respond, man. Dict means what? Dictionary means what? A group of dictionary means what? A group of key value pairs. Regarding a group of key value pairs is called a dictionary, right? Now this object having how many properties are there? What is the property name and the corresponding value? Now observe that here S1 contain how many properties are available, sir? There are 3 properties are there. Name property is there. What is the value for the name, sir? Durga. Next one after that, roll number property is there. What is the value, sir? 101. Next third one, sir, marks is there. Marks is equal to some 90 itself is like this, right? Can I use the word? It's a dictionary, right? It's a dictionary. It's a dictionary, sir. Okay, please make sure it's a dictionary. Key value like this, right? Key value like it's a dictionary. So this dictionary is related to which objects are S1 object. Now I want to know practically, right? Sir, print of S1 dot underscore underscore dict underscore underscore. Remember this, so that okay, so it is the predefined word, language specific predefined names, starts and ends with the 2 underscore symbols. Remember, so print S1 dot underscore underscore dict underscore underscore. Hey, dictionary of S1, can you please let me know? Like, let me execute this code. What is the output we are going to get? I'm not sure. Just have a look once, sir. Okay. Now py test dot py. What output by default you are getting? Name is Durga. Roll number is 101. Marks is 90. Are you getting that? This is the property name. This is the property value. This is the property name. Property value. Value like this, right? Kushbo, you can't use a list. It is applicable only for dict. Key value like property name, property value like that, right? Okay, so this is, yes. So now practical proof. How many instance variables are there for this object? How many instance variables are there for this object? Like, it is a dictionary. It is a dictionary, curly braces. Clear, right? You can't use any other. It is the predefined. The predefined dict is the property. Okay, now here just observe that this is the way how to declare instance variables, right? How you can declare instance variables, and how to get the instance variables related to object by using S1 dot underscore underscore dict like this. So in this example, where we declare instance variables, in this example, can you please tell? Inside constructor. Okay, this is the first one. Now second possibility is inside instance method by using self. We can declare instance variables inside instance method also by using self variable, right? Remember that. So this is it's a possible, right? Now where is the way how you can able to do that, sir? Okay, what I want to take here is, let me go for a small chota example, then you can able to get much clarity, right? Let me take normal general example, class tester. The underscore okay, init underscore self I'm taking, that's a self. So self dot a is equal to 10, self dot b is equal to 20. Can you please tell how many instance variables are there? How many instance variables are there? 2 variables are available, a and b. Okay, well, so now what I want to take, def m1 of self. Okay, remember that def m1 of self. I'm taking my own method. Self dot c is equal to 30. Self dot c is equal to 30 like this. I'm taking, sir. Now let me create one object, t is equal to tester. Regarding, let me create one object, t is equal to tester, sir. Print of t dot underscore dict underscore. Can you please tell how many instance variables are there for t? Please respond, friends. How many instance variables are there for this t? Hey, why you are thinking? How many instance variables are there for this t? So good. The answer is 2. 2 instance variables are there. 2 instance variables are there. Okay. The reason for that is just you created object. That's why constructor got executed. That's why 2 instance variables created as a part of constructor execution. But the third one, sir, will be created inside a method. But you didn't call that method. That's why. So those instance variables are not going to be added to the object. Remember. So just the variables which are declared inside instance method will be added to the object after executing that method only. If that method not executed, then that particular variable is not going to be added to the object. Okay, that's all. Now, can you please tell how many instance variables are there as of now? As of now, how many instance variables are there? Only two. Only two. If you want, you can cross check. Here, see this one, only two. A is the 10, B is equal to 20. A is the 10, B is equal to 20. Okay. Sir, please make sure the number of instance variables of an object is not fixed. Is not fixed. It can increase, it can decrease based on our requirement in Python. But in Java, do you know the people who are coming from Java background? So if I can take any variable here, string yes, next and after that int a, these are instance variable. For all test objects, these two instance variables will be there. In any other place, you can't add any new instance variables, right? The number of instance variable for Java object is always fixed. So from birth to death, are you getting that? From first, whenever created to destruction, that object always contain these two instance variables, right? So, sir, I don't want a particular instance variable delete. I want another new instance variable. Such type of variable terminology not applicable in Java, but in Python, everything is variable. If you want a new instance variable for this particular object, yes, you can able to do that, no problem at all. Okay. Now I'm taking t dot m1. I'm taking sir. After t dot m1, can you please tell how many instance variables are there? Please confirm. How many instance variables are there? 3 instance variables are there, because you are executing this method. If you are executing this method, then automatically self.c is equal to 30 by default will be there. Okay. Now the answer by default we are going to get: A is the 10, B is 20, C is the 30. Please confirm. All the people are in a position to understand. So how many places we can declare an instance variable? One place inside constructor. The second place inside instance method by using self keyword. Inside instance method by using self keyword. But make sure the instance variables which are declared inside a method will be added to the object after executing that method only. If you are not going to call that method, if the method is not executed, then those instance variables won't be added to the object. Clear? Okay, all your doubts I will clarify. Just observe just a few minutes. Now this is about just 2 places whatever we declare instance variables, right? Now third place is also there. Another place is also there, sir. What is the other place? What is the other place, right? Very simple. Outside of a class by using object reference. So do you know, outside of the class, if you want to access object, remember this one. Every object contain two variables, right? One is our own reference variable. Second one is implicit self variable. If you want to access this object within the class, self is the chance. Outside of the class, if you want to refer any object, the only possibility class are t reference variable. Self, such type of terminology not applicable. Remember that. Now here what I'm taking, t dot d is equal to 40. I'm taking t dot d is equal to 40. T dot d is equal to 40. I'm taking, sir. Can you please confirm? How many instance variables are there currently for my t object? Currently for the t object, how many instance variables are there? 4 instance variables are there. So at this line 2 instance variable, at this line 1 more instance variable, at this line 1 more instance variable. Total 4 instance variables by default will be there. Okay, remember this one. Total 4 instance variables are there. Okay, now just take a bit very special care. Where is the proof for that? At last, if you want, you can ask. T dot underscore declare. Regarding at last here, how many instance variables are there? 4 instance variables are there. Regarding where you declared a, this is called the variable declaration. Kushbu. This is called variable declaration. Outside of the class, if you want to declare. Have you remembered, right? Sir, observe that. Where we can declare instance variable? Inside constructor by using self. Inside instance method by using self. Outside of the class by using object reference. by using object reference. These are three places are available to declare instance variables. Remember, getting right? Can you please confirm? All the people are in a position to understand. But what is the use of instance method? Those things we will discuss. Amol. Okay. Here just observe. I'm taking T1 is equal to tester. T1 is equal to tester. T2 is equal to tester. T1 dot M1. T1 dot M1. T2 dot X is equal to some 30. T2 dot Y is equal to some 40. I'm taking. Don't get confused. Don't get confused like that. Can you please tell total how many objects are there? Please respond. Total how many objects are available? 2 objects. For T1, how many instance variables are there? If I print T1 dot underscore dict underscore like this. How many instance variables are there for T1? How many instance variables are there for T1? Which variables? Which variables? How many instance variables are there? I mean, which variables are there? Whenever you are creating T1, automatically A and B are coming. Next, you are calling M1 on T1, obviously C is coming. Then A, comma B, comma C. These are the 3 instance variables are there for the T1. If you want, let me cross check. T1 contain 3 instance variables are there, sir. But now, same question I will ask for T2. Same thing I'm going to ask for T2. Can you please tell how many instance variables are there? Same, I'm asking for T2. How many instance variables are there? Can you please confirm? Good. 4 instance variables are there. A, because of this line, A and B. Because of this line, A and B are coming. Next up for T2, you are not calling M1. That's why C is not available. But for T2, you added 2 more instance variables X and Y. 2 plus 2, 2 plus 2, 4 variables by default will be there. A, B, X, Y, like this, right? A, B, X, Y, like we are going to get. A, B, X, Y, like this. So, the number of instance variable are varied from object to object. Remember that. Friends, everyone in the position to understand. Not required to keep much explanation about this terminology, right? Okay. Well, now can you please confirm what doubts you have as of now? So where we can declare instance variables clear? 3 places are there. Yes, so there are some people, 1 or 2 members are typing the doubts. Can you please now? It's a correct time to ask the doubts. Clear? Can I go for next level? Yeah. Now, how to access instance variables? I want to access instance variables, right? How to access instance variable? So to declare instance variables, how many places? 3 places are there. One is inside constructor, second one is inside method, third one is outside of the class. What about how to access instance variables? How to access instance variable? So even in Python, have you observed, right? The people who are coming from Java background, Java terminology, Python object orientation, complete difference is there. Correct, right? Correct. The people who are coming from Java background, have you observed? There are some not small minor differences, major differences only there, sir. Okay. Well, next, Charan. Instance means object only. Correct. Next, self variable can we use outside? Yes, Lingam. I told multiple times yesterday also, repeated this point. Self is the variable which can be used only within the class. Outside of the class, we can't use a self. Self is Python provided variable to refer current object only within the class. Outside of the class, you can't use a self. Remember, okay? Then how you can access object outside of the class? Compulsory we should use object reference only. By using object references, we can access outside of the class. Clear? Yes. Okay. Well, now till the object creation or method execution, instance variable won't be available. Correct? Because instance variable is the part of object. Instance variable is the part of object. Without object, where is the question of instance variable? That's why when the instance variable will be available, whenever you are creating an object, then the instance variables which are declared inside a constructor are available. If you call a method, then the method added instance variables will be there. Without the object, no chance of existing instance variables. Clear? Now come. Next, using constructor to initialize instance variables. Yes, the main purpose of constructor is to declare instance variable to perform initialization for that instance variable. That is the role of constructor in Python. Instance variables are different, instance methods are different, properties are different, behavior is the different. Behavior is the method. That method we are going to discuss in detail, but as of now, just the variables part. Scope of self is within the class only. Okay. Amol. In the heap area, only two variables will be stored. Here, generally Python virtual machine memory. Okay, instance variables. Here the memory management is not like Java. Here only PVM memory, that's all. Within the object, the data will be stored. Okay. Now, take a bit very special care. I'm not sure, Charan. Let me check. Is there any chance to do that? Okay. Here, just that's all. This is about how to declare, where we can declare instance variables, right? What is the next thing we have to discuss? How to access instance variables. If you want to access instance variable, there is a simple straightforward way. We are not required to worry much about that. Within the class, can you please start within the class by using self. Within the class by using self. Outside of the class by using object reference. That's all. Here we are not having any. We are not having any terminology. We like so any extra points. Array, if you are there within the class, happily we can access by using self instance variable. Outside of the class by using object reference. That's it, man. So best example here I'm taking class employee. I'm taking self. So def employee, def underscore init underscore self comma employee name, employee num, employee sal, employee address is there, sir. Assume that employee address. So self dot name is equal to name, self dot name is equal to name, self dot enum employee number is equal to enum employee number, esal self dot esal is equal to esal self dot e address is equal to e address. Like this I'm taking, sir. That's all. This is about, sir, constructor. Can you please tell, as of now, for employee objects, how many instance variables are there? As of now, for employee objects, how many instance variables are there for? In future, is it possible to add some new extra instance variables? Yes. Inside a method you can, outside of the class you can able to do that, sir. E is equal to sir employee. E is equal to employee of just some Durga. I'm taking some 87 24 25. Next and after that is some 10,000 comma HYD Hyderabad, like I'm taking, sir. Okay, well. So now these are the instance variable and the corresponding values are these things, right? Now my question is, outside of the class I want to access how you can access outside of the class e dot name, e dot enum, next e dot esal, e dot esal, next e dot e address, like this I'm taking, sir. E dot name, e dot enum, e dot esal, e dot e address, like this I'm taking. Now can you please observe that what is the answer we are going to get? Perfectly it's going to work, sir, no doubt at all. Do you know this is how to access instance variable outside of the class? Sir, I'm currently inside the class only. Inside just another method, another one instance method is there. So within the class, if you want to access employee name, if you want to access employee salary, can you please tell how you can able to access? How you can use? What is the way? How you? By using self. Sir, instance variables we can access by using self within the class outside object reference. Now print of, sir, employee name, I'm taking, sir, self dot name. Now I have one small doubt. I have one small doubt, sir. Employee name, employee number, self dot enum. Employee salary, self dot esal. Employee address, self dot e address, like this I'm taking. Now my doubt is, okay, of course, let me, instead of this, now here e dot show method I'm calling. Whenever you call e dot show method, the other part of show method, it is going to print complete employee information. Now let me cross check. Is it going to work or not? Perfect. It's going to work, sir. It's working properly. Now my question is, sir, e for this employee, e reference variable is already there. Can I use e dot name? Please confirm. Can I use e dot name? Because e reference variable is already there. Can I use e dot name? Yes or no? No. This e is available outside of the class. Are you getting? So within the class, if you want to access instance variable, self must be required. Outside of the class, self is not available. Compulsory we should access by using object reference only. That's why by mistake e dot name. Can you please have a look once? Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes. Is it working? Am I? Can you please observe? After that, the code is executing. It will become global variable. Global variable. It will become within the class self, outside of the class object reference. Correct. But still, here the terminology is going to work. The reason for that is functional programming, global. Don't worry. Don't get confused. Also, leave that. Okay. Here, just I'm taking self. This is the way. By mistake, if I'm trying to access by using e, maybe in this case, okay, well, but another object is there, then definitely we are going to face the problem. That's why, so compulsory we should access by using self only within the class, outside of the class by using object reference. Okay. Any doubt up to this? Please confirm. Is the terminology clear? Where we have to declare instance variable, how we can access instance variables. Okay. Can I go for next point? Respond. Can I go for next point? Okay. Now, next, very important, sir. Sir, this is as of now, how many instance variables are there for my E object? Can you please tell how many instance variables are there for the EE object? How many are there? 4 instance variables are there. Is it possible to delete instance variables from the object? I want to delete. This instance variable is not required. Delete this. Now onwards, my employee object doesn't contain employee number. Employee object doesn't contain employee name. I don't want. Can I remove that? I told right. Everything is the dynamic in Python. Dynamic, if you want, you can add a new instance variable at any point of time. Existing instance variables you can delete also, no problem at all, possible man. Okay, how to delete instance variables, how to delete instance variables, very important terminology. How to delete instance variables, right? Within the class, how you can declare is del keyword self dot variable name. Del means delete so and so instance variable, self dot variable name. Outside of the class, can you please tell? Outside of the class, can you please tell the way? Del, okay, obj reference, dot variable name we require to use. Del obj reference dot variable name we require to use. That's all. So within the class, yes, what is the way? Outside of the class, what is the way you should aware? Okay, like now what I want to take is, forget about this one, sir. So yeah, can we delete class only? Class only means what? Instance variables, man, outside of the class or within the class? Charan. Okay, here just observe that class test I'm taking, class test I'm taking, def underscore init underscore self I'm taking. Next self dot a is equal to 10, self dot a is equal to 10, self dot b is equal to 20, self dot b is equal to 20, self dot c is equal to 30, self dot d is equal to 40, self dot d is equal to 40. Okay, like I'm taking, sir, def. Okay, sir, m1 I'm taking, m1 I'm taking, sir, self like this, right? M1 self I'm taking. Here del self dot d, sir. Here see this one, t is equal to test. Can you please tell how many instance variables are there as of now for this t object? How many instance variables are there? All the 4 instance variables are there. But if you call m1, automatically one variable will be gone. Remember this one. Now have a look once. Print on t dot underscore dict underscore. Can you please have a look once? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 are there, sir. Now t dot m1. If I call t dot m1, how many instance variables are there? T dot m1, how many instance variables are there? Only 3. 5. Here del keyword I'm using. Delete, Kushbo. Del keyword I'm using. Delete. That's why how many instance variables are there? So 4 minus this d, only 3 will be there. If you want, you can cross check. Earlier 4 instance variables are there, but now we have only 3 instance variables. But now we have only 3 instance variables, right? Now del t dot b, sir. I don't want b also. Can you please delete del like b? I don't want that. Can you please tell how many instance variables are there? Now how many instance variables are there? Only 2 instance variables are available. Bus a is equal to 10, c is equal to 30. So are you seeing the Sima, man? Yes, Sushil, we can delete. Are you seeing the Sima? Based on our requirement, at any point of time, you can add new instance variable, you can remove existing instance variable. Everything is possible in Python. Okay, more flexibility to the programmer. Of course, a bit confusion, but until understanding, once we got clarity, then more flexibility definitely you people are going to get. In which line you are asking, Swarup? Line number 2, self must be compulsory. The first argument for constructor and instance methods should be self. But instead of self, you can use any other name, but one argument must be compulsory. Yesterday I told several times, repeatedly told this point. Next up, is it possible to delete multiple variables in a single line? Multiple variables in a single line. For method and constructor, both self must be required. Every instance method, every constructor, compulsory first argument should be self. Remember that. But there are some other types of methods are there. There we are going to discuss. Yes, Raghavendra. Next, sir, I want to delete multiple variables. Is it possible or not? I want to delete multiple variables. Is it possible or not? T dot A also. Are you getting? T dot B, T dot A. Comma. That's all. Del first one, second one. If it is going to work, then how many variables will be there for my T? If it is going to work, how many variables will be there? Only one variable. Can you please cross check? Yes, correct or not? Sushil, how to declare, how to delete? This is the possibility, right? Getting right? To delete multiple variables in a single line. Multiple variables in a single line. What is the way? That's all. If you are taking some line, it is not going to work, Sushil. Okay, well. Sir, all the people are in a position to understand very clearly. Del means we are deallocating. Charan, del means we are deallocating. That's all. Means that reference variable no more available. A and B variables are not there. But internally corresponding values will be there. There is no use to access. We can use a del even in constructor also. Charan, Amol, instance method concept we didn't discuss. How you can able to understand? Getting? Not yet. We didn't discuss. Okay, will come. And someone, I'm unable to see some person name. Is the method and constructor variable should be the same? Who is asking this doubt? Can you please spell out your name? Yeah. Can you please log out and log in with your name? Naga. Okay. Here just take a bit very special care. Here any name you can use. Here any name you can use. Here self you can use. Here delf you can use. No problem at all. Here self you can use. Here delf you can use. It is just local variables. Okay, any name. So, but anyway, the first variable whatever we are using, this variable is by default considered yes. Okay, is a self. Remember this one. The name can be anything. This is a pointer to current object. The name may be used self or naga or delf. Any name you can use, no problem at all. Getting clear, right? Yeah, it's going to work. Don't worry. Definitely it's going to work. Now, if you want, you can cross check, sir. If you want, you can cross check. Definitely it's going to work. Sir, here self I user, but here delf I user. So current object reference variable inside M1 is a delf. Current object reference variable inside a constructor is a self. No problem. Sometimes you can use self, sometimes you can use delf, but unnecessary readability is going to be down. Readability is going to be down. That's why everywhere recommended to use self. Clear? So how to delete instance variables like next. Same address only. Santosh. Same del for self for xyz, anything, all the reference variables point into the same object only. Next, Here one more thing. Someone is asking, sir, can I delete can I use a del keyword inside constructor or not? What is the answer? Can I use a del keyword inside the constructor or not? What is the answer? Yes or no? Yes. Within the class, you can use inside constructor, you can use instance method happily. Now, if I print here, how many instance variables are there for my T object? Please confirm. How many instance variables are there for the T object? Zero number. Because here C gone, and then D gone here, D gone, and then here B and A gone. A, B, C, D, all the variables gone. Then how many instance variables are there at last for T? Zero. Just curly brace open and close. Okay, all the 4 variables at different places I removed. Clear, right? Yeah, Swaroop, it's not like a delete you are using, but free memory will be provided by garbage collector only. Memory deallocation is always taken care by garbage collector. We are not having the chance. Santosh, delf and self, all the things point into the same objective only. Don't worry. Here, just observe that. Observe, sir, there is one small problem. Santosh is asking. Sir, self means what? Can you please tell self means what? Current object. Correct or not? Current object. Now, print of idea of self. Now, observe that idea of self. Here, I don't want to use a self. What here, the name is not important, Santosh. The name is not important. First argument, whatever you are using, that will become implicit reference variable for the object. That's what you should do. The first argument, whatever we are declaring, that will act as default reference variable, default reference variable for the object. Remember this one. So now here I'm taking Santosh. Now here print of ID of Santosh I'm taking. Okay, Santosh I'm taking, sir. Now here just observe that t.m1 next print of ID of t. What are the answers we are going to get? Can you please confirm? Is it the same answer? Yes, Santosh. Is it the same answer? Or can I expect a different answers? Same address, because all the things. So inside constructor, you can refer current object by using self. Inside M1, you can refer current object by using Santosh name. Next, outside of the class, you can access this object by using T. So here, have you observed? This is the object. Self is pointing to this one. Santosh is pointing to this one, and the T is also pointing to the same. 3 references pointing to the same object. That's why address is always the same. Getting Santosh? Yeah. So that's all. Just don't worry about the name, but the position is very important. The first argument inside the instance method, the first argument inside the constructor. These are 2 things. Okay, is by default considered as a reference to current object, like this. Yeah, Swaroop, when you will get much clarity, once I started destructor concept, then you will get much clarity. Okay, just concentrate on variables part. Will come, don't worry. Friends, up to this, any doubt? Okay, now just Kushbu, she is asking a small doubt, sir. One small doubt. Can you please answer this one, please? If we create 2 objects of test and one delete instance variable in other object, then is it deleted from both objects or not? What the answer you can tell? What the answer you can tell? Everyone, can you please respond? So if I deleted instance variable from one object, automatically that instance variable will be deleted from the remaining object or not? Yes, no. Good. So she is asking good doubt, so that several people are going to learn some point. Okay, think a bit very carefully. Think a bit very carefully. If we delete from one object, it is not going to be deleted from the remaining objects, because for every object separate copy of instance variables are there. Separate copy of instance variables are there. Instance variables are related to that particular object only. Remember that. Now have a look once. I'm taking class tester. Here def __ init _ self. Now observe that self dot a is equal to 10, self dot b is equal to 20. Okay, 20. Self dot c is equal to some 30. Like this I'm taking some 20, 30. Now observe a bit carefully. Here T1 is equal to tester. T2 is equal to tester. How many instance variables are there for T1 and T2? Can you please? 3 instance variables are there. Now, sir, print T1 dot _ dict _ like this, T2 dot _ dict. I'm taking, sir. Now, what the answer? Both are same. Now, I want to delete del T1 dot a. Sir, if I'm trying to remove instance variable a from T1, is it going to be deleted from the remaining variables or not? Is it going to be deleted from the remaining variables, I mean remaining object or not? Yes or no? Yes or no? No chance at all. No chance at all. Okay? Here, have you observed, right? Only for T1 it is removed, but for T2 it's already there. Okay? So if you remove the instance variable from one object, so there is no, it won't remove from the remaining objects, because for every object its own separate copy will be there, sir. Remember. Any doubt? T1 address and T2 address both are not same, both are different, because these are different objects. Okay, well, sir, now come. If we delete here, just observe del okay, self dot c, sir. Can you please tell here? Do you know constructor is the common for every object? That's why for every object it will be deleted. Are you getting? Because constructor is the common for every object. So from every object it will be deleted. It is nowhere related to a particular object. That's why. But here, if you are going to delete, like not possible. Now come division. Getting inside a constructor, if you are going to use a delete, then it's a common for every object. That's why from every object this line is going to execute. From every object it will be deleted. Okay. Now observe that. Now observe this one. So for T1, C won't be available because created 3 variables and here will be deleted, right? Now have a look once. C gone. From both objects C gone, because for both objects it is executed. Like next one more point, one more here I want to talk. T1 and T2 are objects reference. Sushil, not getting. T1 and T2 are reference variables to 2 different objects. Both are not same. This is the T1, it is the T2. T1 point into this object, T2 is pointed to this object. Then obviously addresses are different. Okay, objects are different, the corresponding instance variables are different. Getting right? Okay. Sir, now what is the next point, sir? Very important point. Please keep this point in your mind. So based on this only, I will go for static variables. Based on this small point only, we have to talk about static variables, right? What is that point is? Very simple. Suppose here just I'm taking two variables are there, two objects I created, sir. Now what I'm trying to take is t1 dot a is equal to 888, t1 dot b is equal to triple nine, t2 print on t2 dot a comma t2 dot b. I'm taking. What is the answer? T1 and T2 hold the same object? No. T1 and T2 holds different objects, but the class name is the same. Sushil, T1 is the different object, T2 is the different object. Addresses are different. Okay. What is the output we are going to get now in this case? Yes, even the words whatever I covered here also it is applicable. Because once we created T1, because of this one object got created, a value will become 10, b value will become 20 just because of constructor. Okay, well, now t1 dot a, it is total t1 dot a. Now t1 dot a will become AAA, t1 dot b will become 999. Only these changes are reflected for that particular object only. Now t2 is equal to tester. Now again t2, for this t2, do you know this constructor will be executed? A is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. Okay, so now the important conclusion is, by using one object reference, if we are performing any changes to instance variable, those changes won't be reflected for the remaining objects, because for every object a separate copy will be available. That's why by using one reference variable, if we are performing any change to the remaining objects, so I mean if we are performing any change, those changes are not going to be reflected for the remaining objects, because for every object separate copy by default will be available. Remember that. Now what is the answer? Now what is the answer we are going to get now? Can you please tell? What the answer we are going to get now? Yes, simple. Okay, 1020. If you want, you can print here only. Here. If you want, you can print here before for T1. Before for T1 dot A, T1 dot A, T1 dot B, T1 dot A, T1 dot B. Next, after for T1. Okay, T1 dot A. Can you please tell what the answer? At the beginning, what the answer? Please respond. At line number 8, what the answer? 1020. At line number 11, what the answer? 888, Next, it is completely different object. Again, complete new story. Yes, at this line number 13, what the answer? Line number 13, what the answer? 1020. Okay, well, now have a look once. Before T1 1020, after T1 888, 1020 like this. So by using one reference variable, if we are performing any changes to the new object, those changes won't be reflected for the remaining objects, because for every object separate copy by default will be there. Clear? Yeah, Ali, what is the need of checking the address of T1.a? Yes, what is your requirement? Have you observed? Value is the different, automatically different address by default will be there. It is not the address of T1. It is the address of a variable value. Earlier a variable value is 10, but now it is the 888. Okay, so that's all. This total story about the first category of the variables. What is that, sir? Instance variable. Instance variable means everything related to. Can you please confirm? Everything related to. Instance variable means everything related to object. Object. Everything related to object. Object level variables are by default considered as instance variables, right? Sir, can you please observe when we should go for instance variable? If the value of a variable varied from object to object, then we should go for instance variables, right? Okay. Next, for every object, a separate copy of instance variable will be created. Usually, we can declare instance variables inside constructor. Next up, when the instance variables will be created at the time of object creation. When the instance variables will be destroyed once object eligible for garbage collection, at the time of object destruction, the corresponding instance variables will be gone. The scope of instance variables is exactly same as scope of object. Remember this one, sir. Okay, well, next where we can declare instance variable, there are three places are available, either inside a constructor, either inside method, or outside of the class, or outside of the class, like this, right? Okay, three places are there. So next, how to access instance variable? Within the class by using self, outside of the class by using object reference. Next, how to delete instance variable? Sir, within the class by using del self dot variable name, outside of the class del object reference dot variable name. Next, if we delete instance variable from one object, then from the remaining objects it won't be deleted, because for every object separate copy is there. Next, if we perform any changes to the instance variables for one object, those changes won't be reflected for the remaining objects also. Any doubt? Ali, here just observe. Maybe this explanation may clarify your doubt. Here this is S1. Assume that. Assume or T1, first object T1. Assume this is the T1. At the beginning, what is the A? At the beginning, what is the A value? 10. So 10 again itself is object. A is the reference variable pointing to that. So now ID of T1 dot A. ID of T1 dot A. Like the address of this 10 we are going to get, sir. Next, after that, this 10 replaced with 888 means 888 another object got created. Now onwards A is pointing to this object. Okay, automatically this 10 eligible for garbage collection, no reference. Now ID of T1 dot A. Now A is pointing to 888. That's why 888 address you are going to get. Getting? Ali? Okay. So here that part it will come next. First, get the variables which are declared inside constructor by using self. Next, inside instance method by using self. Outside by using object reference. Up to that only, better to get clear. Next, sir, I want to declare variable within the class but outside of constructor. What will happen? Which type of variables? What is the behavior of those? It's not correct at time. So just aware up to this. So slowly we are going to discuss the remaining. I mean, step by step is recommended because it's a very dangerous, man. Python loops concept is a very dangerous because it's a terrible topic. I told right at the beginning. So the people who are coming from Java background especially, so having Java knowledge is a very danger now. If you don't know any programming language, then you can able to understand very easily this OOPS concept. Because every time we are comparing with Java or some other language, that may be the problem. Complete different behaviors are there. That's what I told, right? So while learning OOPS concept, please leave your Java knowledge. Everything freshly you require to learn, especially this OOPS concept, because complete different terminology will be there.